It's the final home stretch of the MASL2 season inside the Adirondack Bank Center for United Elite Krajisnik FC. And yet yesterday we saw something incredible happen. Welcome inside the booth. I'm Arnav Fokrell. I'm joined alongside Greg Fanning. Greg, yesterday's matchup is something that we were not expecting, to be quite frankly honest with you. Krajisnik lead early 5-0. All of a sudden Baltimore turns on the gas. They tie it up. Krajisnik lead again 10-6. And then Baltimore comes right back, ties it up, wins in overtime. Krajisnik's first loss of the MASL2 season, and it came away against Baltimore. I don't think any of us were expecting that one.
No, I would think that everybody that's been paying attention to this season would have expected that to be a game against Spice City, not against Baltimore, not against, a team that quite frankly has struggled the last two seasons. They really don't have much to write home about at this point, but now they do, because they went ahead and knocked off the undefeated team in the bracket. So very, very unexpected. And now, like we've been talking about the fact that you got to take care of business about against the people that you should win, that there shouldn't be an issue against. And you know what? They didn't do it yesterday.
Yesterday's loss, 11-10, now puts Krajisnik behind Spice City in terms of points. Spice City has 24, Krajisnik with 22, but Krajisnik has played one less game, so a chance to get right back on top of the standings and really set the showdown for these upcoming final three games of the season. It's going to be Krajisnik or Spice City that advance to the MASL2 playoffs, and it really sucks that we're not going to see both teams, because both teams have been playing at such an incredible caliber. Yeah,
this has been the story for this season from second one of minute one in the very first game. The very first game has been the closest, up until last night, the closest competition and the closest score for this Krajisnik team this entire season. So, apropos that it's going to come down to these two teams, we called it a long time ago. These two teams are exactly who we thought were going to be fighting for that last position to go into the playoffs.
We take a look down at some of the other standings in the other divisions. The Midwest/West Chihuahua Savage 2 are running the show. They're 10-1 on the season. Wichita close behind with a 9-1-1 record. And then down in the north, St. Louis Ambush 2 with a 9-2 record. The Iowa Demon Hawks with an 8-1-1 record. And really, it sucks. I think the perfect scenario would be 6 teams in the playoffs, because you get the top 2 from the East in Spice City Krajisnik, you get the top 2 in that Midwest-West division in Chihuahua and Wichita, and you'd have the top 2 in the north in Iowa and St. Louis. But unfortunately, it's only 4 teams, so we'll see who can kind of prevail in this North division, in the East division, because Krajisnik fell short last season in a two teams that made it to the final playoffs. Now it's only 1, so the bar's even less for Krajisnik.
Yeah, the margin of error is minuscule at best. Krajisnik needs, this is going to turn into a statement game. What kind of impact has that overtime loss from last night made on this team? And I'm watching them warm up right now, and they're pretty loose, but you never know once it goes game time. The other thing that we have, trade deadline questions. We saw Goncalves go off to the Heat. We saw Isak, the beloved Isak Somal, heading out of town. And then we saw some struggles from both M1 and M2. Easy for me to say today. Are there going to be issues with the trade deadline questions? Then we're not undefeated anymore. So, now you got to bounce back. It's the first level of adversity that this team has had. And then you have to play focused. This team may be really upset and really annoyed, or maybe really mad. We'll keep it PG. Might be really, really upset over what happened last night. I'm sure that they are, because they're not undefeated anymore. But you can't go out there and lose your head. You got to go out there and play poised, play your style, play your way. Don't let Baltimore come in here and think, oh, well, we're just going to sweep the home at home. And you got to handle your business, because, again, like we talked about, Baltimore has done virtually nothing for the last 2 seasons, and then they come in and they knock off the kings of the bracket and the division. So now you can't let Baltimore start to gain steam, and you can't go ahead and have an issue moving into these last few games, especially going into the 3 games against Spice City where we have to take 2 out of the 3 to make sure that we make those playoffs.
Take a look at some of the division leaders for the MASL2. It's Mershad Ahmadi who leads the East Division in goals. He's up there in terms of the entire MASL2. I believe he's right around 5th in terms of goals scored on the season with 22. He's tied for 4th, I should say, in goals scored. Andrew Taylor's the only goalkeeper in MASL2 with a shutout. He leads the league in goals against average, mainly due to that shutout, but had a tough go of things last night against Baltimore. Ricky Orozco leads the league in assists, and they're 3 players that are key contributors and are all going to be in action today and need to be in action today and need to be at their best for Krajisnik to win.
Absolutely. These 3 have to own the pitch tonight. There's no excuse. There's no, there's no leeway. They can't go out there and play soft. They got to go out there and play balls to the wall type soccer. They have to, because, again, you don't want to fall to this team twice.
We talk about a star-studded first line for this Krajisnik team. It's a line that's seen so much MASL experience. Drew Taylor's played a couple of MASL games. Toy Tavares has played in multiple MASL games, has a couple of goals. Manny Silva coming off of a hat trick against the Baltimore Blast MASL 1 side last night. Mershad Ahmadi just scored for UCFC not too long ago. Ricky Orozco picked up an assist for UCFC not too long ago. This first line is where the Krajisnik team makes their hay.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. This line has to be firing on all cylinders, and when they are, this team really, surrounds that. It's in the energy that gets on the bench. It fires everybody up, and they are ready to go to war, and basically that's what this is tonight. You got to be ready to go to war.
Second line is headed by Kyle Jenrich, who's coming off of his first MASL 1 goal earlier today, and Christian Vera up top, Muhammad Hamada on the left flank. Kevin Kenton, who we saw in action last home game, really big physical presence, and he's alongside Josh Card. I think Kenton really has been a big addition. He's coming back from injury, sort of adjusting to this MASL game a little bit, from moving from outdoor to indoor from Detroit City FC, but you saw it last game, really calm and composed at the back.
Very much so. This is a really good dynamite defensive back end with Card and Kenton. Kenton made a much faster transition to the indoor as the game went on. We saw him pick up the pace. We saw him pick up the skill level, and he got very, very, very comfortable playing that role for Krajisnik in his debut for M2 and debut for the Krajisnik.
And it's a second line that really sees only one striker in Vera up top, because Jenrich and Hamada are both pretty defensive midfielders, and you add them to that back line alongside Kenton. It's physical, it's tough to get past, but then you got to wonder where are the goals coming from, because Hamada's been great in terms of producing chances, but no one's finished off his chances. Otherwise, he'd be up there with Orozco in terms of assists. Third line is the backup goalkeeper Tyler Barth, who's played a couple of minutes this season for Krajisnik. He's alongside Victor Stasic and Leonardo Gualberto. Up top, Edmar Vieira and Jorge Lozada. Lozada, a couple of games ago here at the Adirondack Bank Center, had a hat trick. He's been playing pretty well on that third line alongside Vieira. Yeah,
Lozada has to be Ricky Orozco-like on that third line. Make sure that he's creating opportunities, creating open space, making those shifts count when he's on the field. And if he brings that extra energy to that third line can start to cash in, and then you're not 100% on line 1 or 75% on line 1. Now it starts to even out a little bit, and not everybody is sweating bullets when they go out onto the field that, I got to score a goal. It's much more laid out. Also, you mentioned the line 2. I'm looking for those back 2 defenders to take long shots, and those rebounds to come off into the middle of the field or towards areas where your front line can go ahead and take those shots. The more opportunities they get, the more rebounds that they get, the more opportunities for them to put one in the back of the net and be productive for the teams.
We talk about how stout this Krajisnik team is defensively. Last night, a complete change of pace from that. They allowed 33 shots for the Arsenal in that overtime loss, the 11-10 final score. On the other side, Oscar Lopez allowed 10 goals, made 11 saves, a couple of really good stops here in that first star last night. The player that Krajisnik has to look out for in the offensive side of things, Owen O'Malley. 3 goals, 1 assist last night for Baltimore. He's been on fire as of late and really propelled them to that victory last night.
So the back lines for Baltimore have to know where he is on the field at all times. They have to shadow him. And like I tell my youth teams, don't let him turn. Don't let him breathe. Don't give him any space. Play hip to hip. Be in his back pocket the entire game. He comes on the field, you need to know where he is 100% of the time. If you do that and you control him, you will be able to neutralize him.
You're seeing Baltimore walk out onto the field now, and they're going to be shortly followed by Krajisnik FC. So we will send it down to the PA announcer to take away player introductions as we get set for the MASL2. Baltimore Arsenal looking to sweep the weekend against Krajisnik FC. Welcome back inside the Adirondack Bank Center. It's United Elite Krajisnik FC taking on the Baltimore Arsenal, and tonight's a special night for Krajisnik because all proceeds from tonight's game are going to help Coach Scott Gorgas and his family after their house. I believe, I don't know the full story here, I believe it was a house fire that caused part of the house to collapse down.
Yeah, it was a really, really sad day. Like most of us with the youth soccer programs here locally, we know Scott's family, we know the Gorgas family. The Gorgas family has dedicated their lives to giving back to the local communities in many, many different ways, and a lot of it has been on the soccer field with youth programs. Scott has been running the playground programs for ASO forever. He also runs a 2013 team for us for Krajisnik that I coach with him. And help him out with. Just a wonderful, wholesome family. And unfortunately, I don't know what started it, but yes, there was a house fire. It did go through the attic of the house, and they're in the process of rebuilding. So every little bit helps this family to rebuild their house. And, you know, a family that has given their lives to the local communities and have been a big part of everything that goes on, whether it be Whitestown, Utica, Whitesboro, New Hartford, doesn't really matter. They're always the first ones to raise their hands and say, I got this. I would love to see the local communities go ahead and start to give back to the family that has always put their communities first. So our prayers and our love goes out to the Scott Gorgas family. And thank God nobody was hurt or anything like that. But it's heart-wrenching, and you got quite the rebuild process that's going to get going here.
So the starters for Baltimore, Oscar Lopez in net, Christian Powell, Chris Santana, the two defenders. Midfielder Owen O'Malley, like we mentioned in the pregame, have to look out for him. And then David Amador and Niall Croak up top. Starters for Krajisnik, like we mentioned, it would be that first line of Toy Tavares alongside Manny Silva, Tyson Dos Santos, Mershad Amati, and Ricky Orozco. And the two players who are coming off of some incredible performances in Mershad Amati and Manny Silva in MASL1 are looking to make an impact tonight.
Yeah, let's let's go, boys. It's time to go to work here, and it's time to get going here. Make a statement quickly. If they come out and they put up a couple of goals really quick, and they maintain that energy and they maintain that workload, this could be a really good night for Krajisnik. So, calm, cool, collected, but time to go to work and time to make a statement that flukes happen, and we'll see if last night was one indeed.
It's Vera up top, so not Mershad Amati who starts. As Toy Tavares launches from distance, and it will not find the back of the net. Out wide, Hamada applies pressure. Brought back down by David Amador, turned over. Vera thought about the shot, laid it off to Hamada. Hamada looking to create. We'll go all the way back to Tyson Dos Santos. He will fire from distance, and it's wide. Only as far out as Hamada. Now Edmar Vieira. Tavares. Ball roll past one. Tavares fires another save for Oscar Lopez. It's going to be hard to get past him tonight after his outing last night where he made 11 saves en route to the overtime victory for Baltimore against Krajisnik FC. And immediately a chance forward for the visiting side, who are playing much improved from their last visit here, but also a much different roster for this Arsenal side. Some new faces in and around the team that are playing together.
Well, and you wonder what opportunities Baltimore took during that trade deadline time period, where there was a lot of news going around, not a lot of broadcasting of what Baltimore did or did not do, where they thought that they could improve. So it's very, very interesting to see, how this team has started to turn around and play. You never know what becomes the spark for an organization, and obviously they've got one now.
Just a little too late for Baltimore, though. They're already eliminated from postseason contention right now. It's just about playing for pride and playing for the victories.
Well, and the other thing that they can do, they can play spoiler. And, I'm a fan of New York teams. I've been a Mets fan and a Giants fan for my entire life. There have been a lot of years that I don't broadcast that information because of how bad they are, and they become spoilers at the end of the season. They have contracts to play for, they have pride to play for, and they end up going in and screwing up somebody's chances to play in the playoffs. So that's where these types of teams who have been, beat up all season long, they start to make some noise and they cause problems for some teams.
Almost a catastrophic turnover at the back, but it's taken up by Lopez. And now to the far side. Turned over again. And this is Ricky Orozco, who leads the league in assists. He's got the captain's armband today as well. I believe he had it on last game at home as well. Orozco, the only player who returns for Krajisnik that was in the top 15 in terms of point scorers. A completely new Krajisnik team, and it's changed for the better. Although we love some of the guys that played for this team last year, you have to say the results are better. The play has been a lot more improved against some tough competition, especially against Spice City.
Oh, 100%. There were some, like you said, there were some outstanding players that were outstanding people that were involved in this first year. And, there are some individuals that we really do miss, very much so. But this team has answered the call from the very, very beginning. They knew what they were up against. They knew that there was a lot of player turnover. They added another coach in Gordy, who had a hat trick today in the UCFC game. this turnover and the advancement of this team has been amazing. Now they got to seal the deal. They've been controlling everything from the very beginning. Now they got to finish the job.
Clipped forward into the path of Kyle Jenrich. Instead, it's laid off. This is Jorge Lozada. Laid that one off now to Mohamed Hamada. Last man, but he's got some creativity in his boots. Instead, it's played across by Kervin Kenton, who's wearing the number 19 jersey today. And now back to Kenton again.
Kenton's got a lot of power, and for being such a big dude, he's got quite the agility as well.
Shot rolled in, saved by Lopez, and away. It was Tyson Dos Santos who rolled that one in. And another good look for Krajisnik in the early goings.
Krajisnik thinks to keep this up, put shots on the goaltender, and also take advantage of anything that you learned from the game last night. You never know what you pick up in a loss, and coaches always say it. You learn more from a loss than you do from a victory, especially a blowout victory. So there might be some opportunities for Krajisnik here to be able to use knowledge gained from that loss in obtaining another win.
Saw a good block there on a shot from Vera from this Baltimore side, and a quick restart leads to a turnover, and Baltimore's unhappy about that one. But Toy Tavares will get things underway yet again. This time he'll drop it off back to Josh Card. Good move on the far side from Manny Silva. Bursting down the flank, outside of the foot, shot is wide. And save, I think that was saved by Lopez off the wall. And now loose in front, here's a chance for Hamada to chip it in. And Mohamed Hamada scores for Krajisnik. Hasn't lit up the score sheet like we thought he would this season, but that one was a picture-perfect finish for the Palestinian.
And talk about being in the right place at the right time and in position to make that play. Goaltender made the initial save. He drops down as we take a look. The goaltender is down, and we look at the team now down on the bench, giving him his congratulations, just deserved. The goaltender goes down, and he's right where he's supposed to be, down on the bottom, and he's able to just chip that ball right into the goal. So maybe a mental error, maybe a positioning error by Baltimore, but it's Krajisnik's gain, that's for sure.
So Hamada gets on the score sheet, and for Mohamed Hamada, it has been a great season in terms of just his creativity on the ball. He's such a delight to watch on the field because you never know what he's going to do. And that's what you love to see, is players being creative, letting the play speak for itself. But for Hamada, it's goal number 5 on the season. He's also got 5 assists to add on to that as well.
Well, and that's sometimes what is lost throughout a player's career, is the ability to be creative on the field. It all depends on the coaches and whether or not the coaches green light you to make errors, as long as you learn from them. So, it's a situation where he is able to get back to that creativity that a lot of young players always have, and be able to utilize that to score goals.
Here's another look at what happened. It was a shot blocked right in front from Christian Vera, and then Hamada just let the ball roll to his right foot, felt the pressure of the goalkeeper coming out, and then chipped it over Oscar Lopez in net.
And he didn't rush. He was nice and calm about it. He knew he had time. He knew that the goaltender was in trouble, waited for the goaltender to make a decision about how he was going to play that, and then he just chipped it right in.
But no lead is safe with Krajisnik. We saw it yesterday with a 5-0 lead early on and then a 10-6 lead late on. And still, it was Baltimore who came back and won that game in overtime, 11-10. Probably the biggest upset of this MASL2 season across the entire league. So the only thing is, you'd lose a game against Baltimore if it gives you a little punch in the mouth and gets you ready for those next 3 games against Spice City after this one. There's Amadi. Oh, what a strike from Murshad Amadi into the top left corner, and really inch perfect from both goals so far for Krajisnik.
I tell you, There's not much room for error on that shot. That was a laser line that went right into the near top corner. That's a tough shot to make, and you know, I think that Baltimore was even kind of surprised that that shot was even taken. Coming down, goes one-on-one against the defender, fakes him out with a ball roll, and takes the shot. He did not hesitate one instant, and that's what you got to do in that situation. You're one-on-one, take the shot.
He now leads the league with leads the team with 23 goals and just trails behind Ricky Orozco in terms of points. He's got 31 points, Mershad, on the season. Put forward again. Now Drew Taylor has to come out. Plays it off the wall to Toy Tavares, and Manny Silva will pick things up. 2-0 lead for Krajisnik thanks to Mohamed Hamada and Mershad Ahmadi.
Taylor's moving the ball around very nicely in the back end there. This is going to allow Krajisnik to set up their middle attackers and their striker up top, start to move Baltimore's defensive line around, get people shifting. Problem is, if you're going to call for the ball, you better get there.
I think Tavares got held back by the jersey a little bit there, but no call.
That's twice now.
Yeah, we saw it earlier as well as he was running down the left side. Now here's Owen O'Malley. He was the star yesterday for Baltimore, but this time he's shrugged off the ball by Vera, and that one played up and out of play, as the rebound was intended for Vera as well. Lozada will come on for him. It's a restart near side for the Arsenal. And Gordy Gerson is angry that referee had signaled for play to start. It looked like a Baltimore player touched the ball, and then Jorge Lozada sprinted off with it. And Gerson is unhappy that that one was called back.
Yeah, it was a good read by the Krajisnik players, especially Lozada, who read that all the way, and now he's applying full court pressure and almost getting to that goaltender to disrupt that ball. Krajisnik starting to play a little bit of high press here, reacting to where Baltimore is going with the ball. Dangerous play by Baltimore against Tavares.
And now the frustration boils over as you see two players face-to-face on the far side, and Manny Silva, a little late shove from Silva as player was up in his face. That was Christian Powell who got involved with Silva.
And it's always the retaliation, right? The retaliation is the one that gets called, not the first one, but it looks like the referee is having a conversation with both players, telling them to cut it out and to play nice. It is St. Patrick's Day tomorrow, so maybe they'll go out for a green beer on Barrack Street. I don't know.
Back to restart, and immediately turned out on the near side. And Gordy Gerson again, always up in arms, and now a timeout called by Gerson. Excuse me, that's immediate timeout. I thought it said Krajisnik timeout or Utica timeout. It's immediate timeout, so we'll step aside. We'll be right back in a few short moments with the rest of the first quarter.
Mazda New Year, New Mazda sales event is back. We've increased our inventory with over 150 new Mazdas available. Save on a new Mazda lease or enjoy 0.9% APR financing on new 2025 Mazda CX-30s, CX-5s, CX-50s, CX-70s, and CX-90s. Let's make your deal on a new Mazda where it's always easy to do business at Steve Ponte Mazda. At Steve Ponte Mazda, we only select our best late model Mazdas to become Mazda certified pre-owned vehicles, offering you an award-winning Mazda at a tremendous value with a 160-point inspection and balance of the 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Let's make your deal on a Mazda where it's always easy to do business. Steve Ponte Mazda. Oh! Got him.
Good arm, Steve. Now we can take back our lines.
See why our customers always say
it's always easy to do business right here at Steve Ponte Mazda.
Welcome back inside the Adirondack Bank Center. It's 2-0 Krajisnik thanks to goals from Mohamed Hamada and Mershad Ahmadi in the early goings. Arnav Pokral joined alongside Greg Fanning for you on this MASL2 broadcast. Krajisnik would love a victory, but really, you hate to look ahead. It is going to come down to those final 3 games against Spice City. And even though you were making the schedules early on in the season, you had the game in January that got canceled. The script writers for the East Division, the MASL2, could not have written this one any better.
No, and neither could Hollywood or Disney Channel either. This is a great, or Peacock, wherever you watch your soccer, Paramount, whatever the case is. We'll just name them all. But at the end of the day, Krajisnik has to. They got to work out any of the bugs that are starting to surface. They got to play these games really, really hard. And we've been talking all season about that goal differential too. Now you've got a game that you missed and a game that you lost by 1 point. There's not a lot of goal differential there, so you're kind of eating up that string of games where we're scoring 15, averaging 15 goals a game. You're starting to eat up some of that goal differential. So they really need to come out here and they need to lay a game down on these guys, and they really got to fire it up.
Spice City was helped by a big 14-4 victory today against the Salisbury Stakes in the East Division. They are 8-1 on the season now. Krajisnik 7-0-1. Spice City's only loss is to this Krajisnik side, a 5-4 defeat early on in the season. Here's Mershad Ahmadi. Steps to the left. He fires a shot. Parried away by Oscar Lopez. And back down the other way goes Kevin Kenton for Krajisnik. The defender, formerly of Detroit City FC in the USL Championship. Really high caliber player that is adjusting to the indoor game and has adjusted pretty well so far.
It would be nice for Krajisnik to take advantage of some of these rebounds. Here comes Vera. He's been right up top, applying pressure, making sure that Baltimore has to keep him in their sights and knowing where he is. Krajisnik really needs to start taking advantage of these rebounds coming off from these long shots. I'm liking the long shots a lot. I'm that type of coach that wants you to take that long shot, utilize that rebound to put it back in on the goaltender. But you know what? You got to get to the ball first. And right now, that's the biggest thing I'm seeing right now. Krajisnik is not winning the 50-50s. They have got to start doing that to be able to keep the tempo and keep the pace and keep control of this game.
Gualberto keeps possession for Krajisnik, and now Tyson Dos Santos will roll it forward to Jenrich. One-time ball out wide. Great feed from Kyle Jenrich, and another great save by Lopez, this time on Vera. Vera battles back for it through the legs. But now Jenrich picks it up. Kyle Jenrich goes top corner and scores. Well, he scored in the MASL1 game just a few hours ago, and Jenrich is on the score sheet tonight for Krajisnik. It's 3-0.
The boy is warmed up. He's ready to roll. That was a great shot. So everybody keeping score at home. Not so much that it's up 3-0, but those shots, with the first one was a chip shot, but the last two have been fired from longer distance and towards top corners. And the Baltimore goaltender has not been able to answer those types of shots. So I'm sure that the coaches down on the bench are sitting there going, everybody shoot high, shoot for corners, because right now he can't stop it.
So 4:31 left to go in the first quarter. It's a 3-0 lead for Krajisnik. Once again, you led 5-0 last night, so you can't look at the scoreboard. For Krajisnik, it has to be 0-0. We need the next goal.
Yeah, every quarter, every single quarter, they should go out with the mentality of 0-0. I used to coach with a great soccer coach, Jamie Coy, and we used to talk all the time about, hey, halftime, guess what? It's 0-0. Go out, do your job, win the second half. And that's the mentality on a quarterly basis that this team has to have.
Good stretch pass forward. A chip attempt from Chris Santana to get past Drew Taylor, but Taylor read the angle and cut it down perfectly. 5 shots on goal so far for Krajisnik, 2 saves for Lopez, none for Drew Taylor on the backside. The man who leads MASL2 in goals against average with 3.57 has the only shutout of this MASL2 season, as there's a foul called on Mohamed Hamada, the first goal scorer of the game. But Drew Taylor, after last night, no longer leads the league in save percentage as well. He's now .767. Excuse me, he's behind a .767 from Rainer House Pires of the Iowa Demon Hawks. Drew Taylor's right there in second at .688.
So great defense coming across, cutting that ball off. 2 Krajisnik players on 1 Baltimore. 1 goes low, 1 goes to the hip check, knocks that ball off. The shot never really gets off.
Taylor kicks that one away. Taylor's also second in terms of goalkeeper wins. Could have been tied for first had Krajisnik won last night, but he's got a chance to get right back up there in first today if Krajisnik can pull off a victory against Baltimore.
Well, Baltimore is pressing really nicely right now. A lot of communication from Taylor, and you can hear it's not so much the coaches that you're hearing right now, it's the players on the field. And that's the key to communication when you're playing this game. You got to talk. The coaches should not be giving you instructions. This should all be the players down on the field talking to each other and telling each other what's going on.
The last time these two teams played here in the Adirondack Bank Center, it was that shutout, that 9-0 victory for Krajisnik over Baltimore. Since then, they've had a couple of big wins against Salisbury. But you look at a result like last night, 10-11, the final score for Baltimore in favor in that overtime victory. As now Amadi will fire one off the wall. It's picked up by Danny Cooper. And he'll lay it off to Chris Santana. Turned over again, but miscommunication between Orozco and Amadi. So Silva, Orozco, Amadi, alongside Card and Tavares, the 5 on the floor for Krajisnik. Orozco stepped in the way of one. Tavares comes back. He gets taken down hard in the play as well. Shoulder-to-shoulder contact sent Tavares flying to the ground.
Yeah, the coaches down on the Krajisnik bench want a blue card, but, you know, that was aggressive. The only reason why it's a foul is because, you know, the Baltimore player was a little bit behind Tavares when Tavares came in and made contact. So I don't see it as a blue card, but what's good is we get the free kick. We can start moving back up the field, and we can take control again. With 2 minutes left, I think Krajisnik would really benefit, not only score-wise, but also mentality-wise, putting another one up on the board before the end of the quarter is done.
3-0 the lead, thanks to goals from Mohamed Hamada, Mershad Amadi, and Kyle Genrich as we get the ball back on the field.
All the little helpers down there that got to walk out on the field tonight. Part of the fun of the programs that are involved with the leagues around here, these youth players really get to walk out with their heroes and get to get involved with being on a professional pitch in a professional stadium more than just sitting up in the stands.
Tyson Dos Santos looking forward for Vera, can't find the pass. And Vera gets turned on the far side. As coming with speed is Coy Langlis.
Krajisnik giving a lot of space, They're allowing Baltimore to work and move the ball on the pitch right now, and this makes a coach's hair go gray even more so than normal.
There's a whistle
There's
called
the blue card.
For Baltimore, a blue card shown, and once again, I mean, felt like one of them was coming eventually, just Baltimore continually pulling, and eventually the shove in the back will send Niall Croak, the forward, to the penalty box. It puts Krajisnik on the power play, a power play unit that I believe has not scored a power play goal this season. So a chance to get that mark off the board here in a few short moments.
Yeah, there's just so much that you're going to get away with until the referees are going to sit there and go, hey, okay, how many times do I need to tell you the same thing before you're going to listen to me? And they pulled the blue card. So this is a great opportunity. You got a 2-minute penalty. You got 1:08 left in the quarter. This is a wonderful opportunity for Krajisnik to put another goal on the scoreboard and be up 4-0 going into the second period.
57 seconds left in the first quarter. Krajisnik on the power play for at least the next minute 45. I should say at most the next minute 45 unless they score, in which case the penalty gets released. Santos. Now Amadi out wide. Orozco. All the way across. Mershad Amadi lines up the one-timer. Instead will go to the corner. And Tyson Dos Santos turns it over. Right back to Amadi. He lays it off. Dos Santos is high and wide. 30 seconds left in the first 15 minutes. Silva Backs his man down, will go to Orozco. Out wide, Amadi. Amadi fires again, and this one batted down by Lopez, and he will just kick it away all the way back to Drew Taylor. Orozco has to move quickly, 7 seconds. Now 6 and 5 and counting. Silva will take it himself. No, he gets denied, and that will do it for the first quarter. 52 seconds left of the power play when we return. 3-0 Krajisnik lead. You're watching MASL2 on Krajisnik's YouTube channel. Stay tuned.
Mazda New Year, New Mazda sales event is back. We've increased our inventory with over 150 new Mazdas available. Save on a new Mazda lease or enjoy 0.9% APR financing on new 2025 Mazda CX-30s, CX-5s, CX-50s, CX-70s, and CX-90s. Let's make your deal on a new Mazda where it's always easy to do business at Steve Ponte Mazda.
Real estate sales and purchases are the most important transactions of your life, making it essential you hire the right real estate agent. I'm Greg Fanning with the Property Pros team at eXp Realty. Over the last 4 years, I have amassed a network of industry leaders to help before, during, and after your deal closes, resulting in a 5-star rating, leaving you with happy memories. Whether it's residential or commercial, relocation or investments, I'm the only realtor you'll ever need.
At Steve Ponte Mazda, we only select our best late model Mazdas to become Mazda certified pre-owned vehicles, offering you an award-winning Mazda at a tremendous value with a 160-point inspection and balance of the 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Let's make your deal on a Mazda where it's always easy to do business. Steve Ponte Mazda. Oh! Got him.
Good arm, Steve. Now we can take back our lines.
See why our customers always say
It's always easy to do business right here at Steve Ponte Mazda.
Back inside the Adirondack Bank Center, getting set for quarter number 2. Krajisnik will be on the power play for 52 seconds. Fairly unsuccessful, but there is a happy birthday for Grayson.
Yeah, the little tyke for Coach Clark and the Clark family. Happy birthday, Grayson. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful birthday. Always fun to see those things pop up on the screens and have the kids be involved in the soccer world.
Pictured with the Utica City FC mascot keeper. We've got 22 seconds until the start of the second quarter. But Greg, first quarter thoughts from you. Three goals is comfortable, like we said yesterday. No lead is comfortable now for Krajisnik after yesterday's collapse against this Baltimore side. But what were you excited about in that first quarter?
I was really happy with how they came out. It was business. It seems like business as usual. Go out, control the ball, possess the ball, open up those shots. But what I really wanted to see them do that they're starting to perform on are longer shots. You are now seeing these shots go to the top corners of the goal because the Baltimore goaltender is not able to handle them right now. I'm sure player of his caliber, he's going to make some adjustments. But you keep beating that drum until the drum breaks, until he proves that he can stop those shots, and then you give him something different. But good ball movement, got up to 3-0, and now you cannot allow Baltimore to work their way back into this game. You need to go and put another 3 or 4 or 5 up in the second period, so that way you mentally start to have them, start to wonder and worry about whether or not they can partake in this matchup today on the pitch.
I think the big thing as well, you don't concede a goal in the first 15 minutes, which is always big for defensive confidence, as there's a pass rifled in. A header took it off the crossbar, and then it's cleared away intentionally by Baltimore, so a top-of-the-arc restart upcoming for Krajisnik. But right away, the offense getting involved yet again.
And that first line is just It's owning the pitch right now. And we talked about that in pregame, that the first line really, really needed to fire on all cylinders, because then that energy and that poise runs rampant through the entire team. We still have 30 seconds left of a penalty to work with, and we see the shot off of the crossbar. You know, they got to keep shooting wide or from deep distances, and they have to keep that goaltender, you know, looking top corners.
Another shot deflected in, and Lopez has to adjust to it. 20 seconds left on the kill. Lopez will dive to the ground and try and take off as much time as possible before launching it. And it just hangs in play. Great throw there from Lopez. It hit off the top of the bench and killed basically another 6 seconds off the kill for Baltimore. Now 3 seconds left on the power play. Manny Silva will fire a shot. It's wide. And the power play is over. Baltimore are back at full strength against Krajisnik. Pressure coming between the two sides, and now Orozco holds on to the ball. Vera can't maintain possession. Baltimore on the break. Worked out wide with Niall Crook, who's freshly out of the penalty box, so he's well rested. And eventually all the way back to Drew Taylor.
Orozco going up against a seemingly taller player that came out of the penalty box in Croak, and you know, Croak rewards him with a forearm to the face. But Orozco is not faded or phased, and he just goes right after that ball, and he's working very, very hard. This team's energy levels has not come down.
There's a second ball on the pitch.
Second ball on the pitch. The kids are playing in the beer garden over there.
And so a restart upcoming for Baltimore.
That's an unlucky break for Baltimore, quite frankly, because Baltimore had Krajisnik out of position, and that was an unlucky circumstance for Baltimore for sure. There was nobody between the Baltimore attacking offense and our all-star goaltender.
Drew Taylor did just make a really good save there with the fingertips to push it wide off of the free kick, so Baltimore still got a good look at goal. Drew Taylor just made the save. Here's an angled pass forward to the corner for Lozada. Lozada on the turn. Looking back, and now a chance to move forward for Krajisnik yet again. Hamad on the far side. Dances past one. Lifted in, no one home. And now Jenrich on the turn. He turns in front. It's blocked by his own player. And immediately Jenrich had his head in his hands because he could not believe what had just happened. Here's a chance for Kenton to fire, and he scores. Kevin Kenton gets on the score sheet at the Adirondack Bank Center. And now it's 4-0.
Well, it's great. It's great to see Kenton do that. That's, quite frankly, we talked about that. Back to defensive players. Got to put a shot on goal and work that rebound. This time there was no rebound, and Kenton did a beautiful job. Beautiful save by Taylor, controlled by Krajisnik. They fought off the Baltimore advance in the counterattack, and then down in the offensive zone, coming across, Kenton right there, takes the ball away, turnover, takes it one touch, and follows through with authority and puts the team up 4-0 as we move into 11:55 left in the second period.
Baltimore up against it now, down by 4, but they were down by 5 yesterday and still ended up winning the game. There's a save by Drew Taylor. A couple of good saves now for Taylor in the early going of this second quarter.
Krajisnik starting to switch the field and do their crosswork.
Here's Stasiuk. Now forward to Vera. Turns in the corner, Vera clips it away, and that one cleared well up into the stands and somehow bounces back on the field, but it'll be another positive restart opportunity for this Krajisnik side.
Well, and here comes line one back onto the field, so Krajisnik is taking advantage of those opportunities, putting top lines on when needed, giving them their rest when they need to, and really they're mixing things up and it's reaping benefits being up 4-0 right now with a little over 11 minutes left in the period.
Manny Silva just got way under that one and sent it up into the netting.
I think he was trying to kick a 50-yard field goal there.
Yeah, good form for that, but unfortunately you got to get it low and into the red square. That stands as the goal behind Oscar Lopez, who has the ball now and lays it off to Chris Santana.
And that's the first time that we saw Lopez come out. Try and interject himself into this offense, try to add that additional offensive player.
Here's Juan Tamayo, who's held up. He goes down pretty easily. No foul called on Josh Card, who has it now. Steps forward and off the wall. It'll fall right back now and eventually cleared away.
That was a nice play because that rebound came off into the middle, and then they tried to hit a Krajisnik player in the center, and unfortunately it didn't work out. Baltimore played some really nice defense there, clearing the zone, getting the ball out, being able to reset for the next play. But Krajisnik now is starting to move the ball much, much more within that offensive deep zone, causing Baltimore to shift and the goaltender to also be shifting along, getting everybody out of position, taking the shot.
There's Hamada with it now, and he sends a man flying down to the deck, and now is riding him on the way back, and now a little bit of pushing and shoving, and a foul called on Hamada on the far side.
I don't understand that whatsoever.
Yeah, Hamada's a fair few inches shorter and a fair few pounds lighter than the guy that he was going up against, and still somehow came away with the ball, but apparently committed a foul in the process. Either way, it's 4-0 Krajisnik with under 10 to play in the second quarter. Lopez turned it over. Jenrich will play it back now to Card. Card chops to the right and gets it back to Hamada.
This is where Taylor can come out and help the process of not only possession but also switching the field, opening up gaps, opening up windows for long passes.
Lozada adjusts first to a deflected pass in front. He's got a man in the middle and Card if he can find him. Instead, we'll play it up off the wall. And now Hamada will pick things up again. Dos Santos. Good feed down low. Shot for Vieira is blocked in front and into the hands of Lopez.
It's unfortunate that ball was bouncing on the pitch. If that ball is nice and smooth, he can one-time that shot.
There's a good challenge in from Card. The defender and wins possession as looks like contact to the face area of one of the Krajisnik players.
Would also help if the referee got out of the way.
And just right alongside Edmar Vieira on the back end. And Vieira still down, grabbing at.
That was a recipe for disaster. The referees over there, everybody kind of bunched up. It's kind of like when stock cars are racing at Daytona, everybody kind of accordions, and then you've got somebody that gets smacked in the face. So hopefully he's okay. He's still holding his nose, but everybody, all the players are taking a look. Tarek is checking to make sure that he's all right. So, no, I guess no harm, no foul, but in that case, the referee has to recognize what's going on and get out of the way.
Manny Silva on the break, and he fires a shot just wide. And now Baltimore can counter the other way. Owen O'Malley maintains possession. Now it's turned over. Here is Amadi. Pressured by two, and eventually Amadi turns it over. Fired forward again. This time to Cardona. Alejandro Cardona, defended by Kervin Kenton. And Kenton just keeps possession of the ball. Doesn't allow Cardona anywhere near it. Turned to the other side by Drew Taylor. Manny Silva has it now. Moves past one and then cuts into some free space. A little bit slow of a pass there from Silva, but a little WWE takedown there of a Kervin Kenton. Drew Taylor back with possession. We'll go to the corner now. Looking for Vera. This one will fall for Vera, who rolls it in calmly to the back of the net. Christian Vera will find the back of the net and make it 5-0.
So a couple of the things with that play, obviously, very nice finish by Vera. Very simple, waited for the play to develop, didn't rush. Ball landed right on his foot as we come down. Long pass down, control in the corner. Vera's right there, waited for the ball to settle. Just snuck it right underneath the Baltimore goaltender. But you know what? I gotta, O'Malley, he didn't like the fact that he got taken down by Kenton. The two of them were hand chopping, and the two of them were fighting over on the other side. The referee wasn't going to make a foul. And instead of O'Malley going and doing his job, he goes and he decides to have a conversation with the referee in the middle of the play. Like, okay, well, now you just let another goal in because you wanted to run your mouth. And, that's like focus. That's definite focus that got completely lost. Now that I'll get off my soapbox. Anybody involved with the youth programs through ASO, you all know I'm the regional commissioner for Whitestown ASO as well as the coach for U12 and U14. So we are currently taking on players. Our registrations are open. We are accepting players everywhere from entry-level playground program that the great Scott Gorgas runs all the way up through U14, and we are looking for players to fill out those rosters. Sign up on the Whitestown website or look for links on Facebook for our Facebook page for Whitestown, and licensed coaches, licensed programs, playbooks. We don't just wing it. We've got a game plan, and it's all about development and progression of knowledge and skill set on the field. Yes, we want to win games, but it's not about the wins and the losses. It's about the development of the teams, just like United Elite Krajisnik Football Club's trainings. So everybody, the registration will be starting to come to a close. Season starts on May 1st. We pushed that back because the parks are not opening earlier than that. And quite frankly, we had 7 feet of snow on the ground, so the fields are not really ready.
7:16 left to go in the first half of play. It's 5-0 Krajisnik, the most recent goal scored by Christian Vera for Krajisnik FC. Kyle Jenrich will pick things up after the restart. 7 minutes left in the first half. A first half that, although the scoreline says 5-0, it's been pretty evenly matched back and forth. Drew Taylor's had to make a couple of good saves. I feel like this Baltimore team is pretty physical. They've been playing hard soccer. Krajisnik just has a little bit of class when they bring in those guys like Manny Silva and Rashad Amati, Ricky Orozco, all in that first line.
They're playing with confidence tonight. The one thing that I've seen so far in this second quarter is that Baltimore is playing a lot more physical. The physicality of this game as a whole, the chippiness, if you will, has started to ramp up a little bit. So now it's going to be who can keep focus and who can make sure they don't make any silly mistakes. We'll use the word silly. But also, Baltimore is starting to generate some of those shooting and scoring opportunities. So Krajisnik has to be careful that they don't fall into the conundrum that cost them their game last night.
Here is Stasiuk. After this game, we've only got one more home game to broadcast for you on the United Elite Krajisnik FC YouTube channel. In a couple of weeks, March 30th, I believe, is the date for that second of 3 in the Spice City series. As I was going to say, as we call it, we've never called it that before. We're going to start calling it now, is the Spice City series of 3 matches in a row.
Yes.
To close out the 2024-25 regular season for United Elite Krajisnik FC.
You know, it's been such a quick season, too, and it's been a very, very good one. So I'm looking forward to that series. Too bad we don't get to broadcast more of it, but
hey, maybe in the near future we get some MASL2 playoffs up in here, and and we get some more teams to broadcast inside the Adirondack Bank Center. Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be cool. And you know what? That's the one thing that I keep hearing from everybody is the way that they have handled the playoff selection and the playoff games for this year. Nobody gets a home game.
It's all done in Iowa, so we will have to see whoever advances out of the East, whether it's Spice City, whether it's Krajisnik. It's a bit of a trek down to Iowa, not too far from my hometown of Omaha, Nebraska, but I don't think I'll be around during that time. I think I'll be up here at school.
Well, and it's just unfortunate that that's how the playoffs are done, that the winner of the division does not have an opportunity to host a home game in their hometown. It's really unfortunate that that's the deal. I would hope that the commissioner for MASL would look at that and say, you know what, they support their teams. This is, for a lot of cities and a lot of towns, this is how they make money. And, it's a great give back to players and to the fans. We need to kind of make an adjustment there. And if it means that they add players or teams in, then so be it.
Hamada is home free on the back end, and he is closed down quickly by Carlos Ayón. That's great defense from Ayón to get across and stop Hamada on the breakaway, because Mohamed Hamada's got some speed on him.
And great defense and everything. Also, too many touches. He had a wide open player running down on the opposite side of the field. Goaltender committed, hit that cross, switch that field, and do that one-timer.
Edmar Vieira goes sliding in, and eventually possession is won back by United Elite Krajisnik FC. Player down. And now Krajisnik wanted to get things underway again, but their player's still down for Baltimore. We don't have a number on it just yet. Grabbing that right shoulder.
He was grabbing shoulder, and then he was also grabbing foot at some point, but he just pointed to the shoulder as well. Trainer for Krajisnik is coming out to assess the situation here.
And you're seeing it on your screen right now. Hamada and Juan Tamayo are getting into it a little bit.
Yeah, they're jawing quite a bit.
And now Tamayo trying to sell it off a little bit. The referees are going to take a look. Blue card assessed to Hamada for that extra swing. And Hamada saying that if he goes, they both should be going.
Absolutely. If this is about jawing back and forth, then both players should be going for that.
So an off-the-ball foul. It'll still be Krajisnik ball, but they are going to be on the penalty kill for the next 2 minutes.
And the penalty kill for Krajisnik has been pretty stellar the entire season.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, can't get much better than that.
Right.
This isn't like grade school where you get bonus points for answering an extra question or writing out the essay.
I think the only way you could get bonus points is if you get a shorthanded goal, which Krajisnik has not done this season. So maybe that's the only way, really. But in terms of defending penalties, I mean, can't ask for a much better record than 100% on the season so far. Knock on wood.
And yeah, the broadcaster curse over here. The minute you praise somebody, then they go, uh-oh. But I got to tell you, we talk about the differential between last year and this year with relation to the Krajisnik M2 team. I think one of the biggest upgrades overall for this roster has been the dominant defensive play.
Alberto did good to work free on special teams, and here's a chance for Tavares. All alone, Toy Tavares, good save from Lopez. And Tavares had a chance for a shorthanded goal. Will backheel it towards Gualberto, cleared away by Lopez again. Tavares sends a man into the boards on the far side.
They've been beating him up pretty good tonight. Baltimore's been on him, shoving, pushing, grabbing his jersey, keeping him from making his runs.
Saw it again there as Tyson Dos Santos gets it away momentarily. And now a shove in the back. And you see the physicality sort of ramp up between these two sides.
And you know what? Kudos to Tavares. He walked away because I can tell, like, the steam is starting to come off the scalp. He's getting pretty angry over there. So, get yourself away from the play. Don't do anything to jeopardize the team. Control the ball. They've already had 2 scoring opportunities on this penalty kill. They might be knocking on the door of putting a shorthanded goal in, especially with the way that they're playing this and Tavares being on the field on far side.
Gualberto lost possession, looking to win it back. Instead, Baltimore collects. 46 seconds left of a penalty kill for Krajisnik, and a power play for Baltimore that hasn't even seen a close look at goal, much less a shot on goal.
Krajisnik has been doing a great job of filling in the gaps, filling in the passing lanes. The angles are not there, and then when Baltimore tries to advance the ball, right there, they take the touch and they control.
Tavares on the far side. Battle again and again. Held physically. And the advantage played will eventually get the whistle back. And Gordy Gerson is livid on the sideline, I think is the best way to describe his actions right now.
Yeah, Gordy is, his cherub-like demeanor is starting to go away pretty quickly here, especially with what's going on pertaining to the team and, Tavares getting mugged out there, and the referees are refusing to throw blue cards for penalties.
There's a good move from Silva, who fires and scores with 1 second left on the penalty kill. It's the first shorthanded goal of the season for Krajisnik, and it's off the foot of Manny Silva.
And Tarek is living it up down there. He is so happy over that. It's almost like it was the last thing that the team needed to do on the pitch. What a beautiful shot, what a beautiful play, and quite frankly, it didn't even feel like Baltimore was on the power play the whole time. This was such a great play right in the middle, hand grabbing and everything, and you know what? Best way to put it to the other team, put it in the back of the net. That was such a great shot. Again, top corner.
6-0 the score. Krajisnik now lead the Arsenal in a convincing fashion, but once again, and we remind you, deficit was right around this much last night as well, and Krajisnik ended up losing 11-10 in overtime. Tonight looks like a much more focused Krajisnik side.
Yeah, and you got that travel time. I overheard Gordy in the post-game for UCFC game today talking about how the team got back at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it was 3 a.m. when the team got back last night.
It's, it takes its toll. I don't care how professional you are, how long you've been playing, and that's definitely a penalty, delay of game.
First delay of game warning for Baltimore. It goes to Alejandro Cardona, number 9, I believe, is the one who is walking off. And Owen O'Malley is also not happy about a call.
Well, and I don't know what they're yelling about. Baltimore came from the backside of the ball carrier, ended up putting him down and putting cleat to the back of the player's leg. Here's Vera. Oh, and a great save. Great rebound save by Baltimore. Less than 1 minute to go. Krajisnik needs to keep control of this ball. Don't let anything go.
Now in front. It is good ball forward, but Lopez comes out and makes a play on time. 43 seconds left now. As moving forward with it is Danny Cooper. Krajisnik will have one last go for in the final 33 seconds of the first half. Good crossfield pass. Out wide, could tee this one up. Instead, left back to Lozada. Lozada's pressured hard, has no help. And it's turned over again. Krajisnik applying pressure on the back end. The whistle blows with 15 seconds left to go in the first half. Forward again by Baltimore. Final 8 seconds. Drew Taylor will see this one as far away from his own goal as possible. As now with 1.4 seconds left, another foul is called. This time, it goes the way of the Arsenal. And we will see out the final 1.4 seconds of the half. It's 6-0 Krajisnik at halftime. And right now it is pure domination. The 3 goals in the second quarter scored by Kervin Kenton, Christian Vera, and Manny Silva that have this game at 6-0. Manny Silva's goal was shorthanded. Here's a look at some of the Krajisnik goals today. It started with Mohamed Hamada early on in this one, just after the 5-minute mark. Chipped one past Oscar Lopez in net. And then later on, it was Murshad Ahmadi doing what Murshad Ahmadi does. Little ball roll, free up some space, and near post, top corner. Couldn't ask for a better place than that from Murshad Ahmadi. His 23rd goal of the season, matching his total from last season with Wichita, which was 23 as well. This one picked off by Kyle Jenrich, who fired one high and into the top of the net. His first MASL goal was earlier today for Utica City. He gets on the score sheet for MASL2 as well. Here was another save from Drew Taylor, who has been less busy than he was yesterday. Yesterday he had 11 saves. And Krajisnik just continuing to put the pressure on. This was Kervin Kenton, a little hesitation, top corner strike for Kenton, his 3rd goal in Krajisnik colors. And then Christian Vera took advantage of a good bounce. And we will send it down now to Greg Fanning, who's with Drew Taylor down on the field.
Yeah, Greg Fanning back here at the Adirondack Bank Center in downtown Utica, where your United Elite Krajisnik Football Club team is up 6-0 at halftime. Here with superstar Andrew Taylor, goalkeeper for Krajisnik, big smile on his face. I can see why it's 6-0, and you made some great saves tonight. Competition seems to be ramping up. We saw some fireworks behind the scenes there. What's the mindset of the team after last night's overtime loss?
I think it's just got to get back down to basics. I think it's doing the right things all the time. I think yesterday we kind of took a lead, and then we kind of got complacent, and then we just kind of let them get back into it. I think we just got to keep going the way we are.
Were there any special words of wisdom from the coaching staff, or was there a team meeting when the overtime loss took place last night, where you guys all came together and banded back together like you have been all season long?
Yeah, it was the voice of the whole team was kind of just the great thing of indoor soccer is you got back-to-back, so you just come back the next day and you get to redeem yourself, really. So that was the goal.
Well, you've played some great soccer tonight, made some great saves and everything. Are there plans or are there thoughts in your mind of things that you can do to keep your feet in the game and your mind in the game while your team is owning the offensive zone against Baltimore?
I think, again, it just comes down to communication, making sure everybody else stays engaged, organized defensively, make sure everyone stays with their man, and stuff like that.
Well, Andrew, thanks for the time. You have a great halftime and have a great second half. Yeah. Greg Fanning at the Adirondack Bank Center. We'll kick it back up to the booth.
Thank you, Greg. That was Andrew Taylor down on the field. He hasn't let up a goal in the first half of play against the Baltimore Arsenal. After last night's overtime loss, Drew Taylor pitches a first-half shutout. He's the only goalkeeper in MASL2 with a shutout this season. That 9-0 victory against the Baltimore Arsenal in late February. That was the last time these two teams played here in Utica. It's halftime. We'll step aside. We'll be back when the second half action resumes inside the Adirondack Bank Center. You're watching MASL2 Soccer on the United Elite Krajisnik FC YouTube channel. Don't go anywhere. Second half coming up in a few short moments.
Mazda New Year, New Mazda sales event is back. We've increased our inventory with over 150 new Mazdas available. Save on a new Mazda lease or enjoy 0.9% APR financing on new 2025 Mazda CX-30s, CX-5s, CX-50s, CX-70s, and CX-90s. Let's make your deal on a new Mazda where it's always easy to do business at Steve Ponte Mazda.
Real estate sales and purchases are the most important transactions of your life, making it essential you hire the right real estate agent. I'm Greg Fanning with the Property Pros team at eXp Realty. Over the last 4 years, I have amassed a network of industry leaders to help before, during, and after your deal closes, resulting in a 5-star rating, leaving you with happy memories. Whether it's residential or commercial, relocation or investments, I'm the only realtor you'll ever need.
At Steve Ponte Mazda, we only select our best late model Mazdas to become Mazda certified pre-owned vehicles, offering you an award-winning Mazda at a tremendous value with a 160-point inspection and balance of the 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Let's make your deal on a Mazda where it's always easy to do business. Steve Ponte Mazda. Oh! Got him.
Good arm, Steve. Now we can take back our lines.
See why our customers always say,
It's always easy to do business right here at Steve Ponte Mazda.
Real estate sales and purchases are the most important transactions of your life, making it essential you hire the right real estate agent. I'm Greg Fanning with the Property Pros team at eXp Realty. Over the last 4 years, I have amassed a network of industry leaders to help before, during, and after your deal closes, resulting in a 5-star rating, leaving you with happy memories. Whether it's residential or commercial, relocation or investments, I'm the only realtor you'll ever need.
The Steve Ponte Mazda New Year, New Mazda sales event is back. We've increased our inventory with over 150 new Mazdas available. Save on a new Mazda lease or enjoy 0.9% APR financing on new 2025 Mazda CX-30s, CX-5s, CX-50s, CX-70s, and CX-90s. Let's make your deal on a new Mazda where it's always easy to do business at Steve Ponte Mazda.
Real estate sales and purchases are the most important transactions of your life, making it essential you hire the right real estate agent. I'm Greg Fanning with the Property Pros team at eXp Realty. Over the last 4 years, I have amassed a network of industry leaders to help before, during, and after your deal closes, resulting in a 5-star rating, leaving you with happy memories. Whether it's residential or commercial, relocation or investments, I'm the only realtor you'll ever need.
At Steve Ponte Mazda, we only select our best late model Mazdas to become Mazda certified pre-owned vehicles, offering you an award-winning Mazda at a tremendous value with a 160-point inspection and balance of the 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Let's make your deal on a Mazda where it's always easy to do business. Steve Ponte Mazda. Oh! Got him.
Good arm, Steve. Now we can take back our lines.
See why our customers always say
It's always easy to do business right here at Steve Ponte Mazda.
Real estate sales and purchases are the most important transactions of your life, making it essential you hire the right real estate agent. I'm Greg Fanning with the Property Pros team at eXp Realty. Over the last 4 years, I have amassed a network of industry leaders to help before, during, and after your deal closes, resulting in a 5-star rating, leaving you with happy memories. Whether it's residential or commercial, relocation or investments, I'm the only realtor you'll ever need.
Welcome back inside the Adirondack Bank Center as we get set for second half action. 6-0 the score between Krajisnik and the Baltimore Arsenal. 6 goals for Krajisnik, all of them scored by different players. I think that's really important. We talk about how much this team has relied on the scoring of Manny Silva and Rashad Amadi, each of them only with 1 goal today. Mohamed Hamada, Kyle Jenrich, Kervin Kenton, Christian Vera all stepping up and scoring for this side as well. Yeah,
they're spreading the ball around, they're spreading the wealth. And you know what? The team is not waiting for additional plays to develop in the attacking zone. They're deciding that when the window opens and the window of opportunity blesses them with an opportunity to shoot, they're taking the shots. This is turning into a no-holds-barred attack by Krajisnik, and they are pushing real hard. So we'll see how the second half goes. A little bit of fireworks during the halftime as well and behind the scenes.
Yeah, two teams that do not like each other in both the MASL1 and now that rivalry carries over into MASL2. We saw a physical first half, saw players getting into it in halftime when, both teams, I should say, are exiting the same doors. Probably maybe something that we should look into here, into changing, because especially in a game like this where there's so much physicality and so much back and forth and so much action, maybe we'll look at, separating teams a little bit before we head out to halftime. But today's game is special. We mentioned it in the pregame. We're helping, Coach Scott Gorgas with his home rebuilding project. The GoFundMe has, I believe, last time I checked, it was over 12,000, and the number continues to grow. And obviously, the community has really rallied around a coach that has provided so much for Krajisnik, not just Krajisnik, but the entire area.
Yeah, this is such a great family, and I can't speak enough about Scott, the impact that he has made on the community, on soccer players' lives. Scott's made an impact on my coaching career. Always being there, teaching me, giving me feedback on things that I can do better and how I can be more of an asset to each of the players and the team as a whole. This family is just dynamite. You talk about, bad things happening to wonderful people, and this is one of those instances. So everybody that has donated in the GoFundMe page, thank you very much. The other thing is that this is not, it's not just Krajisnik getting involved. We've had UCFC get involved. We have had Whitestown boosters get involved. Whitesboro boosters have gotten involved. Really, it showcases the impact that this family has made on Central New York and on the Mohawk Valley, and it just showcases how much everybody within the Gorgas family is truly loved.
And Krajisnik today will be donating all game proceeds to the Gorgas family to help them rebuild as well. So Krajisnik, obviously, with someone so important to the Central New York soccer community, is going to partake and help that out as well, organizing the GoFundMe for Coach Scott Gorgas as well. We're underway in the second half. It's hard to go from a topic like that to realizing that we still have another 30 minutes of soccer to play here. And right away, Krajisnik move forward, and it finds Oscar Lopez's hands in net.
Yeah, it's we go from that conversation, and now turnovers going down here.
There is Mohamed Hamada shielding off the ball.
And Hamada's fired up. He was not happy with some things during that half that were done on the field. Some things that were not handled by the referees, and he's fired up. And if you're going to make somebody mad, he might not be the person that you really want to.
Here goes Hamada. He wants to put one in the back of the net to really quiet the doubters per se, as there's a tackle on the far side.
So this is where, like we talked about in the pitch points today, we talked about the fact that you have to play focused, you can't play emotional. Well, this game is becoming highly emotional, highly chippy.
Tyson Dos Santos goes high off the post and out of play.
And Krajisnik still trying to hit those top corners.
Krajisnik, a team that is averaging 12.6 goals per game, fell just short of that mark yesterday in a 10-goal performance, a 10-11 overtime loss to this very Baltimore Arsenal side.
In talking with Andrew, it just showcases the maturity and the professionalism of this organization, where the players all got together, the coaches all got together, they understood what took place last night, and they all talked about how, hey, we're not going to allow that to happen again.
It'll be a restart because of multiple goalkeeper touches in the same possession. Oscar Lopez knew it was going to happen, but he had to play it because the ball was headed for the back of his net. So you take the free kick opportunity. And here's Edmar Vieira, hard shot, and a lucky rebound for Lopez. Bounced right back up into his hands.
You got to give these goaltenders of all these teams just a lot of credit. Did you hear how loud that ball hit that wall? And you have people that say, yes, I will get in front of that howitzer. These players, they love the game, and they bring a lot to it every time they touch the ball, every time that they get on the pitch. It just amazes me.
Stretch pass forward to Christian Vera. Jenrich is running onto it late, but instead, Hamada will pick things up and drop it back to Toy Tavares, go off for a change. Forward to Vera again, playing like a real target man, just holding it up in the penalty box as much as possible. And Jenrich does well to maintain possession back to Tavares, who's got Leonardo Gualberto to his left. Tavares again, rolling forward. Vera's a step behind it, but Tavares does well to track it back down. Here's Kenton. Kenton, ball roll, has Tavares, but just a step in front of him. Good idea from Kervin Kenton. Tavares shrugs a man off, and here goes Toy Tavares. Back to Kenton, who has time, will lay it off. There's a shot cleared off the line. And the rebound is high. Great defensive effort from Nick Verdi to keep it out of the back of the net.
Yeah, he bailed his goaltender out there. He came right back through, and you're going to see this play. Verdi comes back. He recognizes the ball in the middle of the offensive zone. Then the drop-off by Kenton, and he watched that ball, and he tracked it all the way. Great defensive play. And now we've got another knockdown. Baltimore taking out another Krajisnik player in the offensive zone, and now a counterattack for Baltimore.
That was Jenrich who went down, and a great save from Drew Taylor to keep out Owen O'Malley. O'Malley was a 9th overall pick in the MLS draft a couple of years ago, is now playing with the Baltimore Arsenal. 4-point night last night with 3 goals and 1 assist, and Krajisnik has adjusted to that well, keeping him away from the ball as much as possible. Because, I mean, that's a guy who's played in the MLS and trained with MLS sides here and there. He was with St. Louis for a while, Seattle as well, and played his collegiate soccer at Creighton. So, player that I watched when I was a high schooler when he was at Creighton as well.
Well, and we talked about the fact that they had to know where he was going to be, what he was trying to accomplish on the pitch. Here he is with a breakaway, one-on-one. Great save by Taylor.
Saved by Drew Taylor, who is doing everything he can to keep this Baltimore side at 0.
But yeah, Krajisnik knows where O'Malley is. Krajisnik knows what he's trying to accomplish, and they are frustrating him all day long. And that's exactly what you need to do to shut down a star of O'Malley's caliber. You even had a mental breakdown with him yelling and screaming at the ref, which ended up having a Krajisnik goal towards the end of the first half.
This one headed away, and again, players getting into it here between the two sides. This time it's Mershad Ahmadi who's having a conversation, as Christian Powell is the one who was taken down. And now Manny Silva also having a conversation with Oscar Lopez. So two teams are getting nice and familiar with each other here inside the Adirondack Bank Center.
Well, and this is either going to be a situation where cooler heads prevail because the referees get involved and the referees start handing out blue cards. Looks like O'Malley is going to the penalty box right now. Either the referees are going to get a hold of this, or we could be looking at a very chippy and a very costly game for these two teams, especially for Krajisnik, who is trying to get ready for the Spice City series.
So still some conversations between the referees. Tyson Dos Santos there along with Christian Powell. We've got a decision to be made here as the game has really slowed down, been stop-start since the beginning of the second half with the physicality that we've seen between the two sides.
So O'Malley has a two-minute penalty. Didn't really see a blue card get thrown, but focus was on the pushing, shoving, ranting, raving type situation down here in the bottom corner. And now the referee is trying to get things going here again and trying to keep the peace as much as possible. So Krajisnik is going to go on the power play here.
It'll be O'Malley who heads to the penalty box. And Krajisnik already with one power play opportunity. We'll have another here with Dos Santos. Orozco could step forward. We'll lay it off to Silva instead. Silva has a shorthanded goal today. But I believe Krajisnik was unsuccessful on the power play, if I'm not mistaken, the first time around.
They were not successful the first time around. Had a couple of shots on goal, but nothing really substantial. Really good thought process for Silva trying to hit that ball through the zone. There was Lozada down deep. Goaltender didn't see Lozada standing there, but Vera with the shot that ricochets off the post.
Tyson Dos Santos will pick it up. Oh, good shot from the back post. A sliding player came in. That was Lozada, and then he commits a foul moving forward. So still a minute left on the power play. That was assessed to Owen O'Malley.
And Krajisnik is a lot more involved in this power play, a lot more opportunities to come through.
As here's a ball forward. And again, 49 seconds left on the power play for Krajisnik. Still nothing doing, and now a chance to break forward. Good track back from Ricky Orozco to stop Chris Santana from moving into space and getting a chance. Out wide, Vera fires high and above the head of Oscar Lopez.
Vera's having an amazing game today.
Yeah, with great movement from Christian Vera. Here's Tyson Dos Santos and a great save from Lopez to deny Dos Santos. 18 seconds on the power play. Dos Santos could have a go again. We'll lay it off. Vera, another good save from Lopez. 10 seconds on the power play. Orozco steps forward, looking to make something happen. One final chance is wide. Orozco can rebound, lay it off one more time, and that one misses as well. Back to even strength between the two sides.
O'Malley immediately comes screaming across the pitch.
Dos Santos will fire again. It's been like 4 quick fire saves now for Lopez, who's a busy man right now and might have to make another save as there's a shove from Lozada through the back of one of the Baltimore players. And Lopez is on the ground right now breathing because he's just had been peppered on that power play, just up and down, up and down. He's doing some cardio back there.
Yeah, he looked more like he was taking his stands of a linebacker. But that's how strong that power play was for Krajisnik. You didn't get a goal, but what kind of effort, high-level effort, was put into that power play? And if nothing else, you make the goaltender start huffing and puffing. Maybe he makes a mental breakdown as they come back on an offensive assault here, and maybe he loses focus for a second. You never know, but that was a great power play. Maybe they can build on that. And now you have another foul on Krajisnik.
It's Kyle Jenrich, who claims that it was a flop from David Amador, but either way, the referee was right in front of him, saw it all the way through, and we're still at 6-0 midway through this third quarter. Played forward, intended for Baltimore's number 7, Luis Amaya-Villa, and there's a stop. Second chance was wide. David Amador will head it forward again. Blast out wide. Outside of the foot, Taylor gets it down and makes the save. Great play from Andrew Taylor to keep Baltimore scoreless in this one. And he distributes well. Cards running onto it, flicks it towards goal and just wide. That would have been another assist for Drew Taylor had that one gone in, but I think Lopez just got enough on it as that one goes out of play.
Great play, great feed. Ball going long. This is still textbook for Krajisnik. They're playing really, really hard. And now O'Malley is trying to make amends at the middle of the field with Hamada.
Jason Palkovich is out talking to the refereeing crew about something as we head to our media timeout. 6:47 left in the third. We'll take a step aside. You're watching MASL2 on the United Elite Krajisnik FC YouTube channel.
Mazda New Year, New Mazda sales event is back. We've increased our inventory with over 150 new Mazdas available. Save on a new Mazda lease or enjoy 0.9% APR financing on new 2025 Mazda CX-30s, CX-5s, CX-50s, CX-70s, and CX-90s. Let's make your deal on a new Mazda where it's always easy to do business at Steve Ponte Mazda.
Real estate sales and purchases are the most important transactions of your life, making it essential you hire the right real estate agent. I'm Greg Fanning with the Property Pros team at eXp Realty. Over the last 4 years, I have amassed a network of industry leaders to help before, during, and after your deal closes, resulting in a 5-star rating, leaving you with happy memories. Whether it's residential or commercial, relocation or investments, I'm the only realtor you'll ever need.
Welcome back inside. The Adirondack Bank Center play restarts as Krajisnik have possession after an unsuccessful power play. Andrew Taylor might have a go here. He's no stranger to firing shots. This one will fall for Card. And just wide as Taylor retreats. Card, through pressure, gets fouled in the process and actually commits a foul as well. As Powell is pushed off by the referee to allow Card a way back up. Well, Card is listed as a defender. He started the game in defense, but now he's playing sort of as a midfielder, maybe even as a second forward at some points in this Krajisnik rotation. But right now he's been everywhere on the pitch. He's back now with Toy Tavares. There's a shot wide. Second chance. Oh, what a save by Taylor. Just reflexes there and pure instinct from the SUNY Brockport alum as he reached out and denied another Arsenal goal. And now Krajisnik on the break with Tavares out wide. One-timer rolled in. Slotsville, California. That's Christian Vera scoring his second of the game.
That was such a pretty play. You wonder if during the media timeout they drew that one up, but that's also instinct. First of all, Taylor with just lightning reaction, lightning reflexes. That was a beautiful save right there. And then the counterattack to come out, put the ball on Tavares' foot. Vera is down deep all by himself, and the goaltender over pursues. Vera just pops it right in the corner there. So Krajisnik is still working hard. It's been a little bit of a quiet period. The most that we've seen is a lot of fisticuffs and a lot of pushing and shoving on the field. There's been more of that than goals, but Krajisnik is another period closer towards another potential shutout.
Knock on wood there, but it has been a great defensive showing so far from Drew Taylor and the defensive unit, led by Toy Tavares, Josh Card, Kervin Kenton as well, making his presence felt. Tyson Dos Santos has dropped back and played some important minutes in the back line as well. 7-0 the lead for Krajisnik after yesterday's match, looking to get right back on track and right back in the win column. Here's Jorge Lozada.
And Lozada out there getting a bear hug from Baltimore.
That was Christian Powell who had his arms wrapped fully around Lozada, and now Tyson Dos Santos will fire Lozada again, and again Lozada's being held by the jersey.
That's been a problem all day long. All Baltimore wants to do is go ahead and hold and hold and hold.
And now finally the blue card is shown to Christian Powell.
It's about time. That should have been done, I don't know, a few minutes ago. Not, I mean, at least the blue card was done. But Baltimore has been grabbing, holding. You'd think all of Baltimore is going to take Krajisnik players out to dinner afterwards. I don't know what the deal is, but there's always grabbing and pulling and tugging and everything in soccer. This is not tiddlywinks. It's not sandbox time. But this has been huge, and now all of a sudden O'Malley is getting into a drawing fit with Lozada, and this is where there was a time period where the fever came down a little bit. Well, it just fired right back up.
So another Krajisnik power play, unsuccessful on 2 so far, but they've came pretty close on both of them. Tyson Dos Santos. Amadi thought about it. Back to Amadi. Thought about it again. Wants that quick step. And now we'll go to the other side, switch it out to Manny Silva. Dos Santos, the quarterback of this power play unit. Now Amadi will go for it, and it's just wide. And Krajisnik will have to defend, and they do with Hamada. Tyson Dos Santos gets a touch on it. David Amador will play it out wide. Rolled forward, Hamada stands in the way. And now Hamada will step forward. Amadi. Hamada with Amadi to his left, Tyson Dos Santos to his right. Rolled down low. Popped back up to Manny Silva. Hamada could have one here, lays it off, and that's probably not the right choice from Mohamed Hamada. Should have shot that one when you had the chance.
Ball gets on your foot, you take your shot. It doesn't matter if you miss or not. What did Wayne Gretzky always say? Miss 100% of shots you don't take. He should have taken that shot instead of trying to do something like you see on FIFA games on EA Sports.
Okay, there's a tackle down to the far side, and again, Mohamed Hamada is in the middle of things. This game is blowing up.
Yeah, now you got shoving, pushing, shoving, and now the benches are clearing.
Benches are clearing out for Arsenal's bench is up in there, and players are everywhere. The Krajisnik bench is staying put.
Krajisnik coaches are telling them to cut it out and break away before you get into trouble. They're having discussions with Andrew Taylor. This was a recipe in the making, especially during halftime and everything, and Andrew is in there now trying to pull our players out again. Tempers have definitely boiled over on this one, folks.
It's a game that's blown up time and time again. We're still in the third quarter. We still got about 17 minutes left. The clock is kept on running, by the way.
The clock is still running, and I wonder if the clock is running simply because the referees wanted to get out here before you had a brawl going on.
That might be the case. Head coach Jason Palkovich stepping out along with head coach Cameron Schnack for this Baltimore side. They're probably going to send Hamada with either a yellow or a red. Here's a look at some of what went down. Hamada was the retaliation. That was the big one that they're going to look at. But, players left, right, and center shoving. Players are trying to help control. And Drew Taylor will now talk to Palkovich.
Yeah, it was at a fever pitch, and then you've got the penalty, and they didn't like the penalty, and then all of a sudden it all broke loose. And this is going to take some time. Again, the clock is still running. Don't really know that this is time that's counting.
Yeah, I don't know about this either. The clock has continued to tick. I don't know. I mean, the referees are right there. It's got to be a decision that they made. Oh, finally, it does stop. So they will stop the clock now.
That's got to be a clock reset. The focus, obviously, was to try and regain some decorum and make sure that, we were trying to get things under control. But like fever, I say it again, it's fever pitch. This was bound to happen. And this is the deal. Like, the referees are either going to get control of it, or you're going to have this type of a situation where you start throwing fists and you start fighting and pushing and shoving. And the real dangerous part was you got Andrew Taylor running in there. You've got our top players running in there. Baltimore clears the bench first. Everybody's up against that timing table with the boards, you know, what's to say somebody doesn't wreck an ankle? What is to say that somebody doesn't get a knee injury or a hip injury? Somebody gets an oblique. Very, very dangerous type situation. And then Baltimore gets in there. We're pushing and shoving. It's dangerous for Baltimore too. But when you see red, there's not much that anybody's going to tell you.
I think the main thing that the decision here is Baltimore immediately cleared the bench. Krajisnik did a good job of letting the players that were out there get involved, but everyone on the bench stayed on the bench. I think a few players may have gone in. So I think that's the decision here is Baltimore everyone went as soon as the first couple of shoves happened. I think Muhammad Hamada is going to be one that will probably yellow or red, and then maybe a couple we see from Baltimore. You saw Drew Taylor in there trying to play mediator. He wants this game to get on. He was on the bench for the UCFC game. It's been a long day for him as well. And finally, it looks like we've got some decisions to be made as to what's going on. Jason Palkovich talking with the rest of the Baltimore players now and the Baltimore staff.
Yeah, and it's, you know, like Jay is trying to calm down the situation and everything. I hope that he's trying to talk some sense into Baltimore here. Shows the caliber of coach that he is, knowing that this has gotten completely out of hand. Time to shut it down and play the game that we all love and play it clean and play it right.
And Palkovich is a voice of I would say, from my experiences with him, he's been a very, very reasonable person, and I think that's sort of the message that's getting across is, hey, we don't want it to end like this. We don't want this game to get forfeited. We don't want this game to get called off. Krajisnik has dealt with enough forfeits with all of last season's debacles with the roster management. But thankfully, those rules have been cleared up. But now we've got new rules in place, and Palkovich is obviously going to have a good conversation right now with head coach Cameron Schnack of the Baltimore Arsenal side. And obviously frustrations continuing to boil over between these two sides. The referees are still in a meeting on the far side right now. We're going to step aside because we've been talking for a long time. We're going to let this all get figured out. And when we have updates, we'll be right back on the Krajisnik FC YouTube channel.
Mazda New Year New Mazda sales event is back. We've increased our inventory with over 150 new Mazdas available. Save on a new Mazda lease or enjoy 0.9% APR financing on new 2025 Mazda CX-30s, CX-5s, CX-50s, CX-70s, and CX-90s. Let's make your deal on a new Mazda where it's always easy to do business at Steve Ponte Mazda.
Real estate sales and purchases are the most important transactions of your life, making it essential you hire the right real estate agent. I'm Greg Fanning with the Property Pros team at eXp Realty. Over the last 4 years, I have amassed a network of industry leaders to help before, during, and after your deal closes, resulting in a 5-star rating, leaving you with happy memories. Whether it's residential or commercial, relocation or investments, I'm the only realtor you'll ever need.
At Steve Ponte Mazda, we only select our best late model Mazdas to become Mazda certified pre-owned vehicles, offering you an award-winning Mazda at a tremendous value with a 160-point inspection and balance of the 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Let's make your deal on a Mazda where it's always easy to do business. Steve Ponte Mazda. Oh! Got him.
Good arm, Steve. Now we can take back our lines.
See why our customers always say
it's always easy to do business right here at Steve Ponte Mazda.
The Steve Ponte Mazda New Year New Mazda sales event is back. We've increased our inventory with over 150 new Mazdas available. Save on a new Mazda lease or enjoy 0.9% APR financing on new 2025 Mazda CX-30s, CX-5s, CX-50s, CX-70s, and CX-90s. Let's make your deal on a new Mazda where it's always easy to do business at Steve Ponte Mazda.
Real estate sales and purchases are the most important transactions of your life, making it essential you hire the right real estate agent. I'm Greg Fanning with the Property Pros team at eXp Realty. Over the last 4 years, I have amassed a network of industry leaders to help before, during, and after your deal closes, resulting in a 5-star rating, leaving you with happy memories. Whether it's residential or commercial, relocation or investments, I'm the only realtor you'll ever need.
At Steve Ponte Mazda, we only select our best late model Mazdas to become Mazda certified pre-owned vehicles, offering you an award-winning Mazda at a tremendous value with a 160-point inspection and balance of the 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Let's make your deal on a Mazda where it's always easy to do business. Steve Ponte Mazda. Oh! Got him.
Good arm, Steve. Now we can take back our lines.
See why our customers always say
It's always easy to do business right here at Steve Ponte Mazda.
Another place started up on the left. Yeah, I had to pan over. And then my camera went out of focus because the Parkwood Goods lighting.
All right, we're back inside the Adirondack Bank Center. Arnav Pokral alongside Greg Fanning. We're going to give you the information as we understand it from the referee signals. So first things first, the clock gets reset. It was like counting down. I think they stopped it at 1:27. They reset it to 2:50. So you've got 2 minutes and 50 seconds left in the third quarter. They still have 2 seconds left on that Christian Powell penalty that really sort of catapulted this whole thing into motion. It was the power play opportunity for Krajisnik that led to the whole pushing and shoving incident. Right now they're showing blue cards for both Owen O'Malley and for Manny Silva. So one for each side. O'Malley for Baltimore and Silva for Krajisnik. But also in the penalty box right now for Krajisnik, you've got Mohamed Hamada. In the penalty box for Baltimore, you've got goalkeeper Oscar Lopez. So we assume right now both of them are on yellow cards because neither of the penalties are showing on the board. It wouldn't be a power play. If you're on a yellow card, it's just, you can't play for the next 5 minutes. So now in net for Baltimore, you've got a new guy in Juan Ruiz, who steps in. He's wearing the number 0 jersey that Oscar Lopez was wearing just a few moments ago. He's getting through his pregame warm-up drills. I don't think he's actually a goalkeeper, if I'm not mistaken. He wasn't wearing a goalkeeper jersey to start the game. He was wearing the black 31 jersey. That's what he has on under the orange jersey right now in net. So that's how we understand it. I mean, it took a few minutes off. I wouldn't be surprised if they sort of skipped this whole quarter break, because you've only got, you took almost a whole quarter break right there for about 5 minutes to get all that sorted out. So now we're back playing soccer again. Hopefully that was the last of it between the two sides, and the time in the box can calm down the rest of the players on these two teams.
Yeah, and I, like the time in the box, and here comes Powell. He's out now. But the time in the box for the players, but also the voice of reasoning with the conversation with Jason with the Baltimore team. And then I also watched Tarek pull his team together and just calm everybody. It's the words of wisdom of the coaches to calm this thing down. And, we can tell them whatever we need to calm the situation down. The players have to comply. And I hope that they do, because, there's being mad, but to do something like that's kind of ugly with our sport.
Vera scores. It's a hat trick for Christian Vera. He's got 3 of the last 4 Krajisnik goals. This one comes in 4-on-4, the play really opening up for Vera right in front, and also helps that Oscar Lopez isn't in net. He was excellent so far today, but Juan Ruiz could not find a stop there.
Yeah, you're asking a position player to play play goalie, and Taylor is right down here with the opportunity. He should get an assist on that. And Vera puts one away, and he is having one heck of a game today. Yes, the hat trick, but also wreaking havoc back there, causing all kinds of pressure. He's doing a great job. O'Malley was walking out of the box. Maybe O'Malley's going back in.
Well, I think the thing is, O'Malley thought that because it was a goal that the penalty gets cleared, but it wasn't a goal on a power play. It's still even strength. It's just 4-on-4, not 5-on-5 in the field. So O'Malley just heads back in because he's not released.
Right. It's not a typical power play.
But what should be the Andrew Taylor assist, it's his 3rd assist of the season in MASL2 play. So Drew Taylor getting involved offensively as well for this Krajisnik side.
That was something that we talked about at halftime with Andrew, saying, hey, how can you get involved with this? Are there any set plays? Are there any set thoughts? And he was very coy on that. I don't blame him. But we do have a lot of people who watch this stream, so, you never know. But he was pretty coy with that answer, but he did another good save by him, more good defense by Krajisnik. He just he got involved in the offensive play, and they have realized that they can really open this up if they want to.
Still 4-on-4 between the two sides, and now Krajisnik really looking at moving the ball with some good speed, as Orozco will take advantage of the open space. 25 seconds left in a 4-on-4. Orozco will just hang on to it, go back to Toy Tavares. This is Silva. Excuse me, not Silva. This is Amadi. Silva's in the penalty box right now for Krajisnik. And Amadi again will have it. 11 seconds left in the 4-on-4. And now Amadi will step to the left, fire a shot, blocked in front. Rebound still loose. Jenrich just dragged it wide. Excuse me, that was Jorge Lozado who dragged it wide. .35 seconds left in the third. We're back to 5-on-5 soccer. Manny Silva back out there, as is Owen O'Malley. And this one dispossessed. Lozada goes diving in, and it looks like that was all ball from Baltimore. So now on the far side, here goes Powell, and he's shoved down by Tavares. Stops the play with 16 seconds left in the third, and a delay of game warning for Krajisnik. Owen O'Malley will stand over this one. And O'Malley will go down to the corner. Driven ball in. Back to the other corner from the Arsenal. 8-0 the scoreline thanks to 2 Christian Vera goals. And that will do it for the third. It's 8-0 after 3. We'll see how long of a break they give us here because of that extended break to figure out the penalties. But once again, emotions were all on the field for a second there, but things have slowly calmed down since the restart.
Yeah, they've calmed down, and you're still going to have fouls. You're still going to have hip checks. You're still going to have that. That doesn't disappear from the game. What needs to dissipate from the game and disappear from the game is the retaliation. That's what needs to go away to have a clean fourth period and fourth quarter. But Krajisnik doing what they do best. They're playing great defense. Taylor is on point, and they took advantage of Ruiz going in, trying to get settled and everything, and before you know it, there was a shot on goal and a score. Baltimore is going to have to play real heavy defense while their starting goaltender is still in the box on that yellow card penalty. So Baltimore is going to have to show up and show something here. They're down 8-0. It's fourth period. Krajisnik needs to continue to put goals on the board because here's the thing. Salisbury, the Spice City game and the Salisbury game was a goal differential of 10. We're at 8-0. So Krajisnik needs to at least match that 10 so they don't lose at their pace with the goal differential. And then on top of that, play another clean sheet game. And, you know, frustrations are still there for Baltimore, but it seems like the coaches for both squads have really, you know, they've gotten through to their players. We'll see whether or not it stays that way on the pitch. But Taylor's doing a beautiful job like normal, and everybody across that entire bench is contributing.
Happy birthday, Grayson.
Happy birthday, Grayson.
As we get set for the fourth quarter, it has been a long day here for action inside the Adirondack Bank Center. I speak because I was here for the UCFC game earlier, and now we're at this one. And this one's gone a little bit longer than we expected because of some incidents, and it's been a long day. But we've got 15 minutes of soccer to pull through. In the MASL2, Krajisnik looking to set up a Spice City series to decide the East Division. It starts next week, March 23rd, with an away trip to the Danbury Ice Arena before coming back here on March 30th, and then an away trip. I believe the date is April 6th, but I'm not entirely sure on that one. I can check that in the few seconds we have before the start of the fourth quarter.
And, you know, I'm going to challenge the city of Utica. I'm going to challenge Central New York. I'm going to challenge the people in the Mohawk Valley. I'm going to challenge everybody. I want to fill this building for that second game against Spice. I want everybody to go out, buy your tickets. It's $15 a piece. Come in and watch this electric team take on the number 2 team in the division and fight for that playoff spot. You know, and quite frankly, if you're still here for the UCFC game, go out, buy your ticket at the door, or plan ahead, get that ticket online, and stay for one heck of a battle over 3 games, and we've got the middle game. So that middle game could be a clinching game for this United League Krajisnik football team.
Yeah, I was going to say, assuming this result holds as is, and if Krajisnik can win that first game in Danbury on Sunday, March 23rd, that game on March 30th becomes a playoff clinching scenario if Krajisnik can win that one. It's quite simple. You just have to win 2 of 3.
Yep.
2 of the final 3 games against Spice City. The winner of that 2 out of 3 series will be the East Division champion. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The overtime, we don't need to worry about overtime. You win, 2 out of 3, you're in. That's as simple as that.
Well, and what a great experience if this team is able to do that at home in front of a sold-out crowd where everybody is chanting just like you do for UCFC. You've got one team that's in the driver's seat controlling their own destiny, and you got the M1 team that's trying to find their destiny. This is what indoor soccer is all about.
Shot deflected up and away. And now the ball is stuck in the ceiling, so got a little bit of time to work with that. Still have Oscar Lopez and Mohamed Hamada in the penalty box for a bit. And now finally they get another ball out onto the field.
This has been a great soccer season for this group. You know, M1 has had their schedule or their struggles. UCFC has had their struggles this year, but you know they're starting to try and climb out of that, make themselves eligible.
There's a hard shot just wide, and now Baltimore looking to break. And forward again. Here's Vera holding off his man and chipping one towards the net, and Juan Ruiz instead. It finds the top netting.
But this is, you know, this is wintertime around here, and yeah, you got hockey and you got Comets and you got all of that, but for the people who love this game of soccer, you've got two outstanding teams. Buy your tickets and come out and support them.
Sunday, March 23rd, a week from today, is the first of three against Spice City for United League Krajisnik. It'll be away at the Danbury Arena. Kickoff set for 3 p.m. from the Danbury Ice Arena. Then March 30th is what was supposed to be the final day of the regular season for the East Division. Salisbury and Baltimore in action. That will be their last game of the season as well for those two sides. And then Spice City and Krajisnik also, the two teams in action. Here's Jorge Lozada. What a save from Ruiz. A player who's not used to being there for this side and got the job done there.
Yeah, he's holding his own right now. Baltimore might have found a backup goalie. I don't know if Ruiz really wants that, but, you know, give him credit because he's playing some really good goaltender out back there. He's making his body large, and he's trying to survive that 5-minute penalty. He's trying to survive that 5-minute penalty to the starting goaltender. I mean, look at this play to come in and just make his body real big on a close shot. And, you know, Lozada did not hold back on that shot either. I mean, he put everything he had into it. Looked like a Jackie Chan move. But Ruiz is really holding his own, and he's doing a good job for Baltimore here. He should get a bonus chicken wing at the end.
Over to Tyson Dos Santos. And all the way back now. Forward again by Krajisnik, intended for Tavares, who's making his way off the field, but now has a chance to move forward. Good step over. Tavares lays it off. Shot into the bottom corner. Great strike from Mershad Ahmadi. And it's that man again. Ahmadi makes it 9.
Yeah, Ahmadi handling business and taking control. He had space, he had time, he had poise, and he was able to really rifle that ball by Ruiz. Now the starting goaltender for Baltimore putting his jersey back on, thanking Ruiz for his heartfelt attempt at keeping things in check. And quite frankly, between the Baltimore defense and Ruiz making himself big in the box, they kind of did. They kind of survived that. Only let up 2 goals. They did pretty good, and now Baltimore is back to position players playing positions and goalies playing goalies.
So back underway between these two sides, and immediately a shot fired high and away from Andrew Taylor. It's all to play for in these next couple of weeks, and it starts next Sunday as Krajisnik and Spice City FC will get things underway from the Danbury Ice Arena on March 23rd. We can't overstate the importance of that for Krajisnik. Already one victory against Spice City this season in what was an incredible 5-4 game. We saw some adjustments made by this Krajisnik side mid-game that really worked out well, and a big victory is always what you needed if you're Krajisnik. And now you've got some more players that are more comfortable with the indoor game. Kevin Kenton has come in from injury and played some important minutes for this Krajisnik side. Hopefully you still have a full roster heading down next weekend.
Well, and you have the other situation with Kenton actually getting on the board today and scoring a goal for this team too. So now opponents have to watch him for defensive play, big body in the middle. How is he going to react to things? You know, how is he going to play? And also, oh yeah, I can score goals. So it's just one more thing for opponents to have to watch and have to adjust to.
3 goals on the season now for Kevin Kenton. Came into today with 2 as Amadi assesses the field. Amadi looking to chase down that MASL2 Golden Boot. He's just behind the leaders in that category. 29 goals for Jenderson Pereira. As there's another stop out wide, and Krajisnik will reset. With today's performance of 2 goals, Amadi is at 24, which has him tied for 3rd. Maybe a couple more chances, though. He's still got 10 minutes left in this game for Amadi to try and get something going. Tyson Dos Santos will roll it in calmly to Oscar Lopez.
Well, if Amadi wins that Golden Boot, I want him showing up like he's Usain Bolt wearing the golden cleats, or Carl Lewis, who did it in the Olympics. I want to see him show up with the golden cleats, because that is quite the accomplishment. Players playing at this league are no slouches to performance. They're no joke. They've worked a lifetime to play at this level, and for him to potentially make that achievement is amazing.
Shot is high and away from Andrew Taylor. Ricky Orozco has 25 assists. He's in the running for Playmaker of the Year in terms of the man who leads the league in assists. We'll see if he has picked up any more today. I'm sure he has in today's matchup. As there's a shot from distance on the floor, and it escapes Lopez.
So Krajisnik can't, you got 9 minutes left. You're up by 9 goals. You can't get sloppy. And right now they're getting a little sloppy. They're letting players get behind them. They're not marked. They're thinking too much about, well, let's go get a 10th goal. Let's go get an 11th goal. They need to settle, and they need to play clean, because Baltimore may be down 9-0, but they're starting to get opportunities in the deep end.
Flip to Vera, who scores his 4th of the game. And this is Christian Vera, the target man at his best, just continually firing things into the back of the net.
Another situation where Vera is in the right place at the right time, playing that positional game. Really, really, really great game for him. He has been a huge part of the offensive onslaught, coming down right on the right position, right side of the field, coming down into the bottom corner. Ball bounces, and he has the agility and the capability of popping that ball in before Lopez gets back.
Back underway, 8.5 to play inside the Adirondack Bank Center. Penultimate home game for Krajisnik. The next one coming on March 30th at 6 p.m. on the Sunday against Spice City. As that one clipped all the way back to Oscar Lopez. Pressure coming from Krajisnik and Jenrich.
And we talked about whether or not this was going to be a statement game, and Krajisnik has come out and they have made a statement.
Drew Taylor makes a save. Thought about going long with it. Instead, we'll play it short to Toy Tavares, who has an on-rushing Leonardo Gualberto, but it's just in front of him. Lopez almost made a mistake there, but did enough to get it away momentarily. Gualberto, pressure from behind. Holds on to it momentarily. And now Baltimore go the other way with O'Malley. And O'Malley is up in the face of the referee, who's giving him a yellow card. And O'Malley looks ready to scrap. I mean, he is adamant that something didn't go his way.
O'Malley has kind of lived in the, I don't know, has he played more on the pitch or sat more in the penalty box today? I'm not sure. He is, you know, like he has been in a situation of some sort, yelling at a ref, fighting with a player, pushing and shoving. Like, he's been so unfocused in certain time periods of this game. And then there are other time periods where he's been a workhorse in the middle of the field and doing great things to help his team play better. I don't know. He just.
I also think he might have just broken the door. If I'm not mistaken, we're looking at it now. The referee was pulling at the door, and I don't know if she could get it open. And that's what I was looking at right now. And there we go. O'Malley does get the door open eventually. So it was just, he closed it so hard that it got stuck a little bit. But now O'Malley's returning to the other side. And I think the
ref is showing a 3 to the head coach. I think O'Malley has been told he's not allowed to play anymore today.
Yeah, I don't have the blue card tally right in front of me, but there are, if you get a certain amount of cards, you are ejected from the game. That might have been O'Malley's third, because there was a blue card early on. There was a yellow that he was just assessed, but there was also a blue card in the middle of the scuffle that he was assessed as well.
That's right.
So that could have been card number 3, and I think that is what sends O'Malley out of this game. And for Baltimore, really, that was the lifeblood of your offense. He is so creative. I mean, obviously, a player with so much accolade going into the MLS before faltering out, ending up in MLS Next Pro, and now with the Blast organization. That really was the creative force yesterday, and he was the one who won the game for Baltimore yesterday, but couldn't get things going today.
Yeah, he focus was not there for him today. Krajisnik got into his head pretty quickly. They knew that they had to play him tight and, in his back pocket and play him hip to hip, not allow him to do anything. And it got to him. And you know what? It happens to the best of the players. It happens to the worst of players. They get into their heads, and sometimes you just can't get out of it, and you can't clear your mind.
Baltimore will throw numbers forward as Danny Cooper tried to shoot one, and it got blocked. And now Jenrich will pick things up. He wants to go long. Danny Cooper heads it away to the path of Carlos Ayllón. Stepping in now on it is David Amador. Out wide now. Cooper will go off for a change. Christian Powell directing traffic for his goalkeeper, Oscar Lopez, to step forward.
Lopez trying to move up from the goal position to anchor the far midfield point.
Jenrich will have to play this one off the wall, and does. First time ball forward. Shouts for handball. It's given on a ball that was bouncing up, and it hit the hand of Juan Tamayo. Krajisnik will have a restart. We're about to that point where we're going to get a media timeout here shortly. Unless they just want to skip over it, I wouldn't mind it. Get out of here a little bit quicker on what has been a long day in the Adirondack Bank Center with 6.5 minutes to play in the fourth.
Well, you had excitement with the M1 game with UCFC coming away with a much-needed victory after having some troubles on the road. And now we have a 10-0 lead with a little over 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter here with the M2 Krajisnik team. And
I mean, the focus has to be, A, you got to see out the clean sheet, and B, maybe 1 or 2 more goals wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, absolutely. And the first clean sheet was 9. Now you're at 10. You can't tell me that Krajisnik didn't wake up. And sometimes we see it in other sports where when somebody's on a roll and they're playing undefeated ball, sometimes the loss wakes them up and relieves that pressure, And it looks like Krajisnik is playing loose, and they warmed up loose. They didn't seem tense. Didn't really seem like they were too worried, but they had their team meetings. They had their conversations. Good luck shoving Kenton down. Oh, we got another body slam.
Yeah, that one. Like you mentioned, good luck. Good luck getting Kenton down to the ground without fouling him. I mean, that's a guy who's played at some high levels, back with Detroit City as well, and now we're moving quickly the other way. Krajisnik has a man in front. I believe that's Vera again. This time he'll lay it off, and Toy Tavares missed. Vera will get it back. Maybe he does it himself. We'll try to set up Tavares yet again. Vera, if I'm Vera, I'm taking that shot. You've scored 4 already. You know that something's working today.
Yep.
But
He's
instead,
having a banner day.
Tried to be unselfish and help out Tavares in the goal-scoring tally. And it didn't work out.
Really, he's got, 2 or 3, it looked like 3 Baltimore players on him all at one time. And if I'm in that position, I'm passing the ball off too. But you're right. You got 4 goals on the game. You're having a great game and everything. Try and get one more.
Nick Verdi goes sliding in. He's called for the foul after he made contact with Manny Silva.
And Tavares just came off of the field as well. He was down in the bottom there and was taken down once again. So I think he came over and told Tarek, "Hey, I need a break."
Yeah, he's been going through it physically. It's been a very rough game for both sides, but it feels like Krajisnik have gotten the worst of the contact. As out comes Taylor to make a stop, and unfortunately no clean sheet tonight for Drew Taylor as that one chipped in by Christian Powell. It's 10-1 in favor of the home side, and that'll get us to our immediate timeout. We'll take a step aside. Baltimore on the board, but down by 9. You're watching the MASL2 on United Elite Krajisnik FC's YouTube channel. Welcome back inside the Adirondack Bank Center. Final 5 minutes of play, and we've got a new goalkeeper in. After Drew Taylor's clean sheet goes awry, it's Tyler Barth, the sophomore from SUNY Poly, who steps in. He's a Waterville native from Waterville, New York. 6'1", 155 for the youngster, who has played a couple of games so far. He's made a couple of good saves, but really just getting the experience now of what the indoor soccer scene is like.
Yeah, good experience for him coming into the game. Just really good opportunity for him. This team has played great ball today, and now he gets to reap the rewards. And yes, if we're not going to have a clean sheet tonight, if the shutout is done, it's a very smart decision to make. But Krajisnik also is starting to get a little sloppy here. Ball is not settled. It's not, the passes are not crisp and clean the way that they were. They're kind of rushing. They need to tighten it up, and they need to play a little cleaner towards the end of this game, because now you're messing with the goal differential, and you don't want to really diminish how well you have played and the statement that you have made today saying, yeah, okay, you beat us last night, but let's remember who's in first place here.
Rolled forward for Stasiuk. On the turn, he's held up. Good defense from Baltimore moving the other way. And the Arsenal looking for an avenue forward.
And, you know, we talked about the physicality of this game and how Baltimore has been all over Tavares. You know who used to play here that was treated that way? Isak. Isak was always ripped down, pulled down, you know, horse collars, slammed in the boards. Well, Tavares was treated the way that Isak is typically treated, playing on the pitch. So, you know, it's speaks to the caliber of player that, you know, like, I'm not going to, you know, it's not necessarily targeting, but they know where he is. And basically what Krajisnik did to O'Malley, Baltimore tried to do to Tavares.
That one off the crossbar from Tyson Dos Santos. And he's disappointed that that one didn't find its way in the back of the net. Chance in front again. Here goes Dos Santos trying to roll one in, and Lopez comes out to make a good save.
Yeah, Krajisnik calming this down. They're going to probably play back to the keeper, switching over to Kenton. This has been playbook. You got Vera deep again. Lazard coming in.
Lozada just a step behind the play. And now Baltimore on the break. Tyson Dos Santos left to guard two. That one rolled into the near post, and it's wide. Second chance whiffed by Christian Powell. The only goal scorer today for Baltimore is Powell, and he's fouled on the far side boards. Tyler Barth wants a delay of game call on Baltimore. He won't get it.
Well, Kenton and Powell have been going at it all day long. So fitting that with a minute 21 left in the match here, that those two are tangled up and tied up again.
Headed away by Krajisnik. 60 seconds away from a dominating victory and maybe a chance for a few more goals. This one rolled wide. Vera looking for 5 and trying to set up the team still. I mean, Christian Vera is playing unselfish right now, but at some point you got to shoot the ball. You're a goal away from a 5-goal performance, and yet still it remains 10-1.
If he would have popped 2 more, he would have had the sombrero of the day. This has been a wonderful game for Vera. Krajisnik playing some good defense. Now they're just marking off. 40 seconds left.
That one rolled in towards Barth. And Vera gets it away momentarily. And Kenton will have to clean things up. And does with 27 seconds left. Vera, there's a chance for 5, and it's just high and away off the net. 21 seconds left. It looks like Krajisnik will see out a victory and jump right back into first place in the East Division. But like we've said time and time again tonight, it is all about the next 3 games. The Spice City series between Krajisnik and Krajisnik and Spice City to decide the champion of the East Division. It is simple. Whoever wins 2 is in. And if you're Krajisnik, you just got to win those 2 games, and you will be in a good spot. Have to say, Spice City has done a great job year 1 of the organization. They consistently are selling 1.5, 2K tickets every home game. A community that's bought in the final seconds as there's a block away. And the final horn sounds. It's a 10-1 victory for Krajisnik. And Greg, I will leave you to it the highlights as I go down and talk to some of the players later.
So another dominating performance by your United Elite Krajisnik Football Club. Wonderful play today. After coming home from Baltimore last night with the very first loss of the season, this team showed up poised and focused. The pitch points, we were wondering if they were going to be focused or if they were going to play emotional. Quite frankly, today was both. You had focus and you had emotional play going on the field. Tempers overflowing, different situations going on with the physicality. But Krajisnik opened up right away with a quick chip into the net by Hamada. That gave Krajisnik the early 1-0 lead. Controlling play again, coming down. Roughly 8 minutes left in the first. And a laser shot, absolute laser shot from Amadi, putting them up 2-0. This was the beginning of the build-up for a great game for your United Late Krajisnik Football Club. Steal from the middle and rips another laser shot up into the top corners. This was a day of shooting high and wide. At this point, Krajisnik's up 3-0. Baltimore moving through. And then here comes Kenton, steals the ball, comes down with one touch, opens up the goal angle, and drives that shot home. Great game by Kenton as well. Stellar defense, and now he's putting points on the board. Another mistake down deep, and here comes Vera with his first goal of the game, 5-0. Vera taking a page-turning performance. Minute 47 left in the second quarter. Another hard laser shot coming through. A lot of hand checking, and this was really where the game started to get a lot of jawing and a lot more hand checking going on. Third period, we have about 5.5. Vera pops another one. Vera again with 4 goals today, wreaking havoc in the back end, always finding his place open. And then after we come fisticuffs, we have Vera with his third, putting in a hat trick. And that play assisted by Taylor. Another long pass. At this point, it's 8-0. We get into the fourth quarter. Here's Tavares coming across, laying the ball off, and another great goal. Krajisnik taking care of business all day long today on the pitch. Tavares coming through again, and there's Vera with his fourth, getting it hung up in the post. He's still dialing for dollars down there, checking his Apple Watch. So this was another stellar performance, and Vera another, page-turning situation. So we take it down to the field where we have my broadcast partner, Arnav Pockrell, and everybody enjoy the rest of your weekend. Let's sell out that home game against Spice City. And Arnav, it's all on you, my friend.
Hey guys, welcome down on the field. Arnav Pockrell. I'm here with Kyle Ganrick, Christian Vera. We just won a game 10-1 against the Baltimore Arsenal, but I want to talk to you, Kyle. You just scored an MASL 1 game early. You scored in the MASL 1 game earlier today. You come back, you score in this game. I mean, what's this day been like for you?
Yeah, we lost yesterday, bad loss. I've been with M2 all year, so I'm going to play with them, and I'm going to stick with them and just keep playing like you saw today. We could do this every single game. We just got to be sharp and keep it up. And for you, I mean, you mentioned that loss last night to this very team. It was a physical game today. Emotions running high. How did you guys kind of cool your heads a little bit in that fourth quarter? We know we're a better team, so move the ball, pass and move, and our quality will take us to the win every time. Kyle, congrats on the 2 goals today. Appreciate it. We're going to move now to Christian Vera. 4 goals today. I mean, what was working for you today?
I mean, my teammates did a good job of helping find me in open areas. They pass and move, find the target, lay it off, play me back. So as a team, it was good collectively. I mean, this is the best game I think anyone has seen from you now. Playing as a target, you're doing great with your back to goal. Yeah. I mean, when you feel the pressure, what's that like for you? What's going through your mind when you're feeling pressure coming towards you? I mean, we just try to settle in, take it line by line, do a quick, good 30 seconds, sub out, and then just try to get your feet into the game. And for you, I mean, what's next now? You got 4 goals today. How do you keep the level high as you move into the next couple of games? Well, we go back to training. I train with the Utica team every day, so just get better and better day by day. Christian, congrats, man. 4 goals is nothing to write home about. You did a great job today. Thank you. And for you guys, want to make sure you're here. We're back at home on March 30th, but we're away at Spice City for the first of 3 to end the MASL2 regular season. It's 3 games against Spice City. If you win 2, you're in the MASL2 playoffs. It's all to play for these next couple of weeks.
Tune in. The away game's on March 23rd. We're back here at home for the final home game of the regular season on March 30th at 6 p.m. I'm Arnav Bokrell for Greg Fanning, Joel Belthizer, and the entire camera crew. I want to thank you for tuning in to another episode, another game, and another dominating performance from the Krajisnik side. We'll see you back here on March 30th for the final home game of the 2025 regular season. Until then, stay safe. We'll see you then.